Sometimes while exploring Arkansas, we like to show scenes like this, just because. Just because you don't find too many settings like this left in the 21st century, and just because you can't get enough of them. So, let's go down by the old mill stream. War Eagle Mill's picture postcard storybook setting has always been a favorite destination spot in northwest Arkansas. War Eagle Mill is the only working water-powered grist mill in Arkansas, and one of only a few that are left in the entire country. It stands as a symbol of our Ozark heritage, reminding us of the pioneering spirit of our forefathers who ground the harvested grains for the daily table during the 1800s.
In the 1840s, 1850s, the mill was a focal point of the community. Oftentimes, the community was built around the mill because anybody that had any quantity of grain, that even 40 acres of corn, couldn't grind it all themselves. They couldn't pound it all with a mortar and pestle. So the mill was an extremely important place. That lasted through most of the 1800s up until about 1900 to the 1920s. We got to the steel roller mills, and the old grist mills started fading away with burr stones that actually ground the product. The steel roller mills, much like the modern flouring mills are today, great big huge iron or steel rollers that actually crushed the product. Nowadays, we're seeing a resurgence of interest in the old grist mill type product again, primarily because there's so much interest in organic products, totally natural, nothing's removed from them, nothing's added to them, no preservatives. People are really getting interested in that again, and so we're seeing a resurgence in that type of food.
Along with the 100-plus-year-old wooden plank bridge, the mill itself holds quite an extensive history.
Sylvanus Blackburn first came to Arkansas here on the War Eagle River in 1832. By 1838, he had the first water-powered grist mill operational here. It operated for 10 years until 1848. A huge flood washed away his mill and his dam, which was logs and rocks, washed away everything. But the business was good to him, so he came right back in, promptly rebuilt. His second mill lasted until the Civil War, and in 1862, the Confederate Army burned that mill to prevent the Union Army from being able to use it. It remained a ruin until 1873, when Sylvanus's youngest son, James Austin Cameron Blackburn, came back and rebuilt the mill for a third time, installed a water turbine which provided a lot of additional power, and without any floods and without any war, that mill lasted till 1924 and burned in an accidental fire. And the mill that we're in today, the fourth version of the mill, the building was actually erected in 1973 by Zoe Kaywood and her family. But we're sitting on the original 1873 foundation. We've got what's left of the 1873 dam. And the raceway where our wheel sets is the 1873 raceway. So off and on, you could say War Eagle Mill's been in operation for 169 years. But we're the fourth incarnation.
The milling operation still utilizes the original 150-year-old French granite stones, Miller Steve Burgess talked to us about the milling process.
It's an unusual operation, and it's not something you just go flip a switch and start it up with, especially in cold weather. First, we have to start the wheel, the water wheel, on the cold mornings. We have to let that run for a little while to warm up the belts before we can actually engage the mill to the wheel. If we try to do it too fast, the belts will flop and vibrate, and stuff on the shelves upstairs will fall off. So it's a lot different than most machinery we operate today, because it's a very slow process to start it up and shut it down again in the evening.
So, what's it like having the job of a miller, something that only a handful of folks in the country can claim?
It's different. It's interesting. I've learned a lot being here that I didn't know, and I'm not ashamed to tell you I wasn't real smart about organic products, all of the variety, all the different types of grains that there are. I've learned a whole lot. I've even impressed my wife once or twice. So it's been a lot of fun.
By the way, if you do go to War Eagle Mill, by all means, before leaving, go up to the 3rd floor to the Bean Palace restaurant and get you a taste of those beans seasoned with ham, famous War Eagle cornbread, creamy coleslaw, and cobbler for dessert. It'll make you want to slap your mama, as they say.